Hey guys! This is Cartoon Recapped. Today we'll show you a 2018 family comedy cartoon called SmallFoot. Be aware of heavy spoilers. Sit back and enjoy the show. A village of Yetis live in isolation on the top of a mountain in the Himalayas, above the clouds and hidden away from sight. Migo is a Yeti who abides by the law of the ancient stones held by the Stonekeeper, the Yeti's leader. Migo's father, Dorgal, projects himself through the air each morning to hit a gong with his head, as the Yetis believe this wakes up the sun. While learning how to ring the gong, Migo is distracted by the Stonekeeper's daughter, Michi, whom he has a crush on, and misses the gong, landing outside the village. There, Migo witnesses a plane crash and finds a SmallFoot, whom the Yetis believe is mythical. Migo runs back to inform the villagers, but he lacks proof, and Stonekeeper claims he is lying and banishes him from the village. Migo is suddenly visited by rejected Yetis Gwangi, Koka, and Fleem, who do not believe in the stones, and bring him to the SmallFoot Evidentiary Society, which is led by Michi. She convinces Migo to travel below the clouds despite the stones telling them that there is nothing underneath. After some hesitation, Migo agrees to go, but his rope snaps and Migo falls, where he discovers land. Percy Patterson is a British human filmmaker of wildlife documentaries who has lost most of his viewership. He meets the pilot who saw Migo, and in an attempt to regain his fame, tries unsuccessfully to convince his assistant, Brenda, to dress up as a Yeti for filming. Migo arrives and unknowingly scares Percy when trying to communicate with him due to Yetis and humans' inability to understand each other. When Migo inadvertently terrifies Percy by his attempted communication, Percy attempts to tranquilize Migo. However, the errant dart ends up hitting Percy, rendering him temporarily unconscious. Migo then decides to abduct the unconscious Percy by stuffing him into a sleeping bag that he straps to his chest for the return trip home. During the long trek back up the mountain, Migo and Percy encounter a severe blizzard which blows them into a nearby cave. Migo discovers that Percy has frozen completely solid. He quickly lights a fire and ties Percy up over a fire to thaw him out and save his life. As Percy regains consciousness, he believes that Migo is trying to cook him alive. Percy breaks free from the rope and proceeds to film and upload a cell phone video of Migo while narrating that the Yeti is threatening to eat him, before attempting to escape. While chasing after Percy, Migo's toe becomes ensnared in a bear trap and Percy takes pity on Migo by removing the trap and bandaging his wound. Realizing that the Yeti is trying to communicate with him, Percy agrees to go with Migo and they head back up the mountain overnight, where they reunite with the SES the next morning. Yetis are confused by Percy's appearance, but happily embrace him and learn about his culture, much to Stonekeeper's dismay. Later, Stonekeeper takes Migo inside the palace and reveals the truth. Yetis used to live below the clouds, but were forced into hiding by the vicious humans who mercilessly attacked them. To keep themselves safe, the Yetis created the stones, and the clouds are actually steam made by the Yetis' daily tasks to keep them hidden from the humans below. Meanwhile, Michi is able to develop a rudimentary line of communication with Percy by referring to crude chalk drawings that Percy scribbles on her cave wall. In order to protect the Yeti village, Migo agrees to continue Stonekeeper's lie by telling the Yetis that Percy, who is now experiencing altitude sickness, is just a hairless wild yak. Stonekeeper takes Percy and locks him in an icebox, so Percy will be unable to alert other humans of the Yeti's whereabouts. Migo later discovers that Michi took Percy away to return him home, and jumps down the mountain with Gwangi and Koka following suit. Percy recovers and discovers that his video of Migo has generated significant public excitement, but then notices that Michi has become distracted by the wonders of Kathmandu and accidentally causes a public disruption. Michi is attacked by the police, but is rescued by Gwangi, Koka, and Migo. As Migo tries to explain to Michi that humans are monsters, they see a mural depicting a Yeti attacking people and realize that humans view them as monsters. The Yetis try to make it back to the mountain, but are chased by a SWAT helicopter that Stonekeeper takes down using his stones. Migo attempts to divert the police away from the other Yetis, when Percy arrives on his snowmobile and shoots Migo with a tranquilizer gun to protect him. The police chase and capture Percy in his Yeti suit, and arrest him for public disturbance and fraud. Back at the village, inside the palace, Migo explains the truth to the Yetis and apologizes for lying to them. He tells the others that even though humans may still be scared of the Yetis, they should try to communicate with them. The Yetis leave the village, and when Percy and Brenda notice them, they emerge from the crowd and stand up for the Yetis. The rest of the humans slowly welcome the Yetis and accept them into their lives. Thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.